members of the National Executive Council, the executive officers of Kenya National Union of Teachers, the membership of NAT. We can see a big number of teachers who are here, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. National Chairman, before I proceed to make a statement and announce the decision of the Special National Executive Council held here today at NAT headquarters, may I briefly introduce everyone who is here. I will begin with the ordinary teachers and ordinary members by show of hands, wherever you are. And I give you the call of solidarity. 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 The struggle continues. That is the membership, because this struggle is not owned by the leadership. It is owned by the members. And this is one union, one among the few unions in the world which is membership driven in every decision and in every program. And we want everybody to know, even those who are in government, who have been peddling lies and rumors about the union. Teachers of this country are desirous of a decent wage, and are here today and are saying they will continue struggling for their rights. Mr. National Chairman, I will introduce the executive officers of the union if they are here. The technical people, there are 6 of them, skilled in different areas, and that is why as a union we will never go wrong, including even assembling economic facts. May I introduce members of the National Executive Council, region by region. This is a national union that is above any ethnic shade, and that is above any political shade. We have the face of Kenya. And I will begin with Northeastern. Members of the National Executive Council from Northeastern, Mariam, Mahad Dore, and of course we are also gender balance. We have observed the Constitution. We are almost an institution that is at the forefront in ensuring that the Constitution of Kenya is not only protected but implemented. The spirit of the Constitution must be felt by the people and enjoyed by the citizens. Eastern region, we have the Itumu, Muse, Agnes, I'll introduce you by name, Jonathan Mutambu, and Joseph Makuto. That is Eastern. Central region, we have Harrison Gishira, Clement Gitau, Elos Nduro, and Patrick Karinga. Nairobi region, the heartbeat of the war, and we must thank you, the teachers of Nairobi. You are represented here by Amos Muregi, Ephraim Muregi, yes, and Liz Nduta, yes, the soloist. Then Rift Valley region, the largest region in this country, Stanley Mutai, Josephat Serem, Emily Kirui, Raphael Chalote, and Alice Tuwe at the National Executive Council, Kuria Njau Kuria, who has been to jail several times because of strikes. We have paid the price, and Governor Stanley Kitis. Those are members of the National Executive Council from Rift Valley, Nyanza region. Mersha Oguda Uginga and Colin Soyu, Mary Awino, and Geoffrey Mogire. Western Kenya region, John Luther Wesonga, Huntington, Mark Oseno, Fred Sijangi, Mheshimiwa, yes, and Emily Barasa Mito. I'm sure I've introduced every region. I'll introduce members of...
Have introduced Coast.
Yeah, Coast region, yes. I stand corrected. Helef, Brother Helev from Coast, Sister Rosalia Mukanjala from Coast, and Dana Law from Coast. I think I'm done with Coast Province. Then members of the National Steering
Trustees.
National Trustees. Indeed, in case we are jailed, the union will be in trust of 3 trustees who have the power to transact finances of the union and take over the property and every business of the union. Any property of the union, including finances, is vested in the National Trustees. We have Sister Agnes Unda, a National Trustee, and we have Muondiku, National Trustee, and we have Boniface Tenai, National Trustees. Members of the National Steering Committee, 2 are absent. Brother Samson Kaguma, who was taken ill with stroke. And the truth of the matter is, every strike will take some of us to hospitals. That is the price we pay. And those are the pains we go through. And some people in government think we enjoy. Brother Kaguma is getting discharged from Aga Khan Hospital today in Kisumu. And we thank God for giving him good health and taking him through the treatment in hospital. And Hesbon Otieno is assigned to discharge him and make sure that he is safely flown to Nairobi by evening. The rest who are with us here: Weekly Betolo Muchei, Second Vice National Chairman; Jacinta Ndegwa, Second National Woman Representative; Dorothy Mudhoni, First National Woman Representative. Then we have National Treasurer Brother John Matiangi, and I am Wilson Sossion, Secretary General and Spokesman, and the leader of delegation and constitutional holder of the union is Brother Muzo Nzili Mwana wa Kwenderwa, kichiko cha chikoni ambacho hakiogopi moto. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to very quickly thank Kenyans for supporting us in the strongest manner possible. The 5-week industrial action that has been staged in this country is exceptional from all the other 13 strikes that the union has staged in its 58 years of existence. This is a strike that brought together all the teachers, and we spoke in one voice. And therefore, I wish to thank all the teachers for standing with us, the members of the public for supporting us, the parents of this country for supporting us, and the students. The truth of the matter that is not spoken out there is that the students and the children we teach would like to see their teachers comfortable so that they can teach well. And those in doubt, check video clips and check what has been done. I also wish to thank the 2 labor centers, the Trade Union Congress, and the Central Organization of Trade Union for the great support that they gave us. I also wish to thank members of parliament, those who stood with us, and we even saw some putting on school uniform to really communicate this message very clearly. We want to thank the Senate for taking time and adjourning its business to discuss this matter, and the resolution of the Senate is deeply appreciated by the teachers of this country. I also wish in a special way to thank the media. Kenyan media remain one of the most independent in the world, and we want to commend you for doing a good job and for reporting factually. Because if you don't, and particularly KTN have been instructed for airing every event live, we have no words to appreciate what you've done to us, because the nation must know the truth. And overall, the media, you have done very well. Yeah, you have done well. And I agree with Barack Obama when he said Kenyan media is one of the most independent and vibrant. We are saying so as teachers of this country, because through the media we can save this country. The constitution is under threat. It is not the salaries of teachers, and therefore factual, prompt and truthful reporting will make a difference. We also wish to thank the judiciary. It is one arm of government that has lived up to its expectation in the new constitution to be independent, impartial and free. And we are urging the judiciary to remain steadfast and not to be intimidated by any other arm of government. And we are challenging the other arms of government as well to know that we are operating in a new dispensation, a new constitution, where the people. I wish to thank our international friends. This was not a Kenyan strike. It was part of the global struggle by the teachers of the world to occupy their space and be able to deliver quality public education. Globally, quality public education delivery is a big challenge. And therefore, all the unions over the world, trade unions, have been giving us messages of solidarity. And Mr. National Chairman, allow me to read only one message to the teachers of Kenya. That comes from our General Secretary in Brussels, Brother Fred Van Luel of Education International. Education International brings together 30 million teachers globally, and that is our strong platform. So we should not be mistaken that we are driving a domestic agenda. We are driving a global agenda to ensure that the global community delivers quality education through well-supported, well-remunerated, and well-capacitated teachers. And that indeed is in line with the Sustainable Development Goals which the United Nations General Assembly adopted the other day. The General Secretary wrote a goodwill message to us, and indeed wrote to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya. And I would like to take this opportunity to read this letter. Dear Your Excellency, Education International invites the government of His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta to implement the court decisions to augment teacher wages and allowances. Education International is a global union federation representing 30 million teachers and education workers worldwide. Its members in Kenya are Kenya National Union of Teachers, NAT, Kenya Union of Domestic Hotels, Education Institutions, Hospitals and Allied Workers, KUDEA, the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, and of course, as I proceed, I must thank our brothers in for cooperating strongly with us this time round. We need this solidarity more than ever before, and to speak in one voice, because at the end of the day, we are all teachers, and we are members of the same teaching profession. So I congratulate my brother Kelo Misori, who was my classmate at the university, for working very closely with us, and will be delivering the same message to the teachers of Kenya. And the university's academic staff union, teachers request the full implementation of the court decision in petition number 5 of 2015. The absence of a positive move prompted the unions to engage in industrial action and collective action. Education International urges your government to 1. Implement the court decisions confirming the pay rise. That is a statement from the Secretary General. General Secretary rather. 2. Engage in meaningful dialogue with NAT and CUPET and meet the legitimate demands of teachers for decent wages and better living conditions. 3. Respect the fundamental rights and freedoms of teachers in accordance with international standards related to collective bargaining. And 4. Refrain from threatening teachers because of their appeal for a fair salary increase. I trust that your government will act swiftly to address the demands of teachers in Kenya so that they can resume their duties without any victimization. This will enable the pupils and students to continue with their education without further interruption. Yours sincerely, signed, Fred Van Leeuwen, Secretary General, General Secretary Education International. It was important I read this message to the teachers of Kenya. As I move to read our short statement, which is short indeed, very specific, I wish to restate that Kenyan teachers are the most overworked in the sub-Saharan Africa. Statistics have indicated. And Kenyan teachers are the most hardworking, among the most hardworking in the world. Indeed, Kenyan teachers have remained resilient for many years in this country and have implemented different reforms agenda in education, including implementation of 844 without being properly prepared, and implementing free primary education from 2003 despite the large influx of learners who have doubled from 7 million to close to 14 million in our public schools, while the number remains the same. So scientifically, the government should know that Kenyan teachers are the most overworked in the sub-Saharan Africa and also unfairly remunerated, looking at the workload that the teachers undertake. And in terms of hard currency salaries, the lowest paid teacher in Kenya is earning 150 sterling pounds. We're now converting the 16,620 to international hard currencies. 150 sterling pounds. 150 sterling pounds. Is that a decent salary that you can expect a teacher to earn? Whereas the state officers, the list is long, earn millions of shillings and thousands of shillings. I don't need to make reference, including new officers. And of course, it goes without saying that even the Teacher Service Commission that we expected to make a difference for teachers has enhanced the salaries for their staff twice those of teachers. Those are facts. A worker in job group G at TSC who cannot qualify to train as a teacher is now earning 35,000 shillings. And 7 months ago, they were earning the same with teachers. And that same worker earning 35,000 shillings is earning higher than a graduate teacher. This is and disrespect to education. Workers and citizens must be paid cognizant of their qualifications and the work they do. And tells us about harmonization. We are not shy to tell her that she is a busybody in this country. And she has taken over the work of the Ministry of Labor and is actively working against ILO standards. And if the government wants respect from workers, then the government must stop listening to one Sarah, Serem and SRC. Mr. National Chairman, may I now move to read the statement? But unlike the government, unlike the Teacher Service Commission, unlike SRC, teachers of this country adhere to the rule of law. Yes. Teachers of this country respect the Constitution. Yes. And that court orders be obeyed even when manifestly unfair and unjust to the teachers. For this reason, and this reason alone, all teachers who are members of Kenya National Union of Teachers will resume teaching on Monday, 5th October 2015, in accordance with and in obedience to the orders of the Honorable Justice Abwada of 25th September 2015 and of 1st October 2015, and that of Ndumanderi, which was issued yesterday, 2nd of October. The said orders, though we are obeying, are unjust, unfair to the teachers for the following reasons. The orders should be implemented as a package, as opposed to only those against teachers being enforced, while TSC and the government are left to enjoy impunity in disobeying orders against them. The government has been disobeying orders. For instance, Mr. Justice Abwada ordered that there is to be no victimization of the teachers and that their September salaries be paid in full. To this minute, it is only reading 0. That is victimization. TSC and the government are up to now in violation of those orders, withholding the September salaries, third-party deduction, especially to the cooperative movement. Billions of shillings remain unremitted for over 2 months to our cooperative movement and our investments. Withholding the September salaries and third-party deductions, union dues for the respective. And we would like to repeat, union dues is the right of the union. Yes. And it is voluntary contribution by the members. Yes. We don't have forced membership. Yes. The union does not belong to Muzonzili or Wilson Sossion. Yes. It belongs to the teachers of this country. Yes. TSC has further advertised for employment of relief teachers, 70,000. Now these are what we call relief El Nino teachers. Now we are transferring relief food, relief El Nino, now relief teaching outside the Constitution, and we want to thank the Trade Union Congress for moving the courts firmly yesterday, and the orders have been set aside. And we want to urge teachers who are training, teachers who are unemployed, not to be tempted to set a precedent of allowing the TSC and government to engage in servitude, to employ trained and qualified teachers under poor terms. If indeed TSC and government are willing to employ this particular group of teachers because else understaffing, then they should prepare sufficient budgetary allocation and employ all these teachers under proper terms. Yes. Number two, with the teachers back in class and with the government and the Teacher Service Commission currently prosecuting their appeals against Justice Ndumanderi's award, why would the government and the Teacher Service Commission proceed to conciliation as ordered by Justice Abwada to discuss implementation of an award as they are seeking to set them aside in the Court of Appeal? The most natural thing they should have done, and we did write a letter on Friday 25th, immediately these orders were issued, that if indeed TSC and government would like to comply and we move to the table with a view of implementation, we're not moving to the table to negotiate variation of 50-60%. No. And 50-60% is a government document. It is your document. Yes. So give us what you proposed. What has changed all of a sudden? We wrote to ask them to withdraw the appeal at the Court of Appeal, but they have chosen to proceed at the Court of Appeal. Coercing teachers back to class merely strengthens the hand of the government and the Teacher Service Commission in this dispute and assists them to be even more intransigent. The government has played a deep role of interference right across the board, and they cannot be allowed to run away with this. They must comply with the orders as given. 3. The latest petition number 72 of 2015, in which the teachers are now being ordered to go back to class, and which we have accepted to comply in the spirit of respect of the law, arises directly from the government and Teacher Service Commission refusal to obey the orders of the Honorable Mr. Justice Ntumanderi. The subject matter of the appeals currently ongoing before the Court of Appeal. And we want to tell teachers, we will contest at the Court of Appeal to its logical end. Yes. Because we have a strong case. 5060 was not generated by the unions. It was generated by the PSC. You will never run away from your own shadow. The shadow will chase you. It will haunt you wherever and forever. The petition is thus an abuse of the court process by parties in contempt of the court. Yet surprisingly, not only does the court entertain the petition and gives them audience, it proceeds to grant them the one critical order they sought, the return of teachers to class. All these movements to court is not in good faith by the TSC and the government, but it is merely to force you to go back to class so that we can invigilate exams and so that we can continue teaching, thus robbing teachers of the only effective leverage for enforcement of their rights, the power and the weapon of a strike, which is a right in our constitution. However, despite those misgivings, which we will move to address meticulously and effectively, while teachers resume duties, teachers appreciate Justice Abwoda's specific finding in his judgment that the strike is legal and protected. Yes. Unlike Lady Justice Mbaru's finding in an interlocutory application that the strike was unprotected. That indeed Kenyans and teachers have been vindicated, we are engaged in a legally protected strike, which is a right in our constitution and which we shall continue enjoying independent of other rights to others. It is not our business to grant rights to children. It is the duty of the state and the duty of the government to grant the rights to children and to grant the rights to teachers. Pay teachers today, and teachers will go back teaching a motivated lot in their classrooms tomorrow. In conclusion, we remind the government, the Teacher Service Commission, and all Kenyans that the strike has not been called off. Amen. The strike is only suspended for 90 days. And you begin counting 90 days from 3rd of October. On expiration of the 90 days, teachers of this country will resume the strike unless during that 90 days period the 50-60% basic pay increment is implemented and a collective bargaining agreement. We've been seeking for a collective bargaining agreement. Is duly signed and deposited in court. That is the only thing that will stop the strike actions. We are demanding that Teacher Service Commission pay teachers their September salaries and remit the third-party check-off immediately, failure of which we will be back on you in the next few days. May I thank our teachers, the teachers who are patriotic, law-abiding, who respect the Constitution. And now we urge you, all of you, this was the longest strike. We've set a record.
Yes.
And it's a strike that we have won one case after the other, even in court.
Yes.
As you go back to class, we will pitch tent inside the corridors of justice to ensure that you don't lose the 50-60% and your rights.
Yes.
And you are telling government your attitude of can't pay, won't pay, will not take you anywhere.
Yes.
You pay the teachers. In fact, if they paid today, all cases will collapse and we sign a CBA and there will be a peaceful and more promising and productive sector. Now we are asking all our teachers, resume duties promptly on 8 o'clock and physically have been told, because we love this country. On Monday 8 o'clock. And we are now announcing formally that third term commences on the 5th of October. Parents, we are ready for you. You will meet us ready to receive your children in class and bring your children physically.
Yes.
Outside that, we are also telling our members and my brother Dr. Kivilu of Kenya National Exam Council, we are now releasing it in invigilation and supervision of national exams. You participate and you also mark the national exam physically.
Yes.
And we are telling let him go and lecture to the bar because he has let down the Minister of Education. And we will never allow TSC, don't try, musijaribu, don't. Thinking about contract teachers and servitude, forget about it. With all those remarks, we want to wish our candidates who will be sitting for national exams, and we will need more time to prepare Form 4s. We will need more time to prepare Class 8. And Kivilu, if you are patriotic and you want to be respected, readjust the examination timetable so that we can conclusively effectively conclude the instructional period that is required to prepare our candidates very well. With all those remarks, thank you and God bless you, and we wish all of you well. Solidarity.